Doctor Who 25th Anniversary Commemorative Set. A diorama playset by Dapol. Limited edition. Well, that's what it says on the box. Anyway, this was essentially a repack of toys that had previously been made available. The figures all available on single card backs, much like this. The Tardis available as a police box, and the console available as, well, a console on its own. All put together in this rather nice box. Now, there were a couple of additions. We get a bit of floor here. And I also believe that there is a plate that will fit between these two segments here to make it wider. This isn't the best example that you will find of this particular set. The box has some wear, the window's popped out and has been taped back in place at some point, and even that tape has failed now. And the console itself, it suffers like most of these do. Eventually the motor that makes the column rise and fall seizes or fails, or in a lot of instances people try and put it back in the box while the column is still protruding, and then when they put it back in the box it damages the motor or the mechanism inside. Anyway, this one, that's happened. Someone's been inside it to try and have a go and they've made a mess of it. But let's talk about the actual toy rather than the state that this particular one is in. This was a favourite of mine growing up as a kid. I loved this. I just got into Doctor Who in '93, and, well, toys for it were, or any collectibles really, were not really available to buy. It was during what's now called the wilderness years of Doctor Who. I like to think there was a lot more love for it back in those wilderness years than what there is now. But let's not go down that route. Let's not go down that route. We're here to talk about the toy. So, yeah, in here you get a police box TARDIS, you get the console, you get the 7th Doctor, you get Melanie Bush, you get K9, rather bizarrely, because the 7th Doctor was never paired with K9, and you get the bits to make the inside of the TARDIS console room. Shall we get it out and have a little look? Why not? And there we are, that's everything that you get in the box with this toy. In my view, a really, really good toy. I loved it. I know it's cheaply made. I know it is what it is. I mean, when I say cheaply made, this giant box set, and the box for it really is huge, it was only about 50 quid for everything back in the day. So that's 3 action figures, a play set, and a TARDIS. I don't think that's all that bad value at all, especially for something so niche. Anyway, there we are, that's your figures. I had a quick go at getting Mel to stand, but she's... You see how wobbly those limbs are? You try standing that thing up. There's no way she's going to stand. I mean, maybe if I use the pegs and lean her against something and then super glue all of her loose joints, then she might stand up, but right now she's not going to do. And she don't need to do, because she just lays in that box. We get K9, fantastic little figure. He does have a little feature in the form of, if you wag his tail, the head's supposed to move. There's a little bit of movement there, not much. It's quite a dodgy mechanism just inside that's doesn't always connect. You can see it's trying to. He doesn't want to. Bless him. He's old and knackered now. TARDIS console. As I said, this has probably been pushed in. It is supposed to rise up and down, and there's batteries in it, so I'll let you hear that it is trying to work at least. You can see clearly that lights are still working, but the mechanism, the mechanism that makes the centre column, Yeah, let's turn that off. That makes the centre column rise and fall isn't working properly. We've obviously got Sylvester McCoy's 7th Doctor back here. He comes with his trusty brolly, his question mark handled umbrella, and he's got, just look at the design on his chest there, on his vest. Now, bear in mind that character options are very reluctant right now to make 6th Doctor figures because they don't like doing the stripes on his trousers. There's too much detail in his coat. That's now. With today's technology, just imagine how much effort went into making sure that these question marks and those zigzag lines on this jumper are so noticeable and vibrant. I think it's quite an accomplishment for back in the day, for 1988. And then obviously we've got the police box, which is a fantastic model. It's a very thin plastic, but it's so accurate for the 7th Doctor's TARDIS. I suppose if you wanted it to be the 4th, which was the only Doctor that they released in the early days along with this 7th Doctor, then it wasn't quite so accurate. But as it is the 7th, it is an accurate one. And it does have a light up feature as well. Look at that. It works. And if I remember rightly, it's one of those bulbs that when it warms up a little bit, it will start, there we go, it will start flashing. I think that's fantastic. I really do. I love this playset. Anyway, I'm going to take that police box apart now and show you what the playset looks like once it's assembled properly. And there you are. That's just the TARDIS walls, the police box walls that have been taken apart and, well, opened up a little bit. There's indentations and marks in the plastic base that show you where to put the bottom of the TARDIS walls there. Now you can actually do this 2 ways. Now I'm not sure what difference that really makes. I suppose it gets rid of that zigzag angle. And it still looks pretty good, does that? I like it that a company as small as Dapol would actually do something like this for a toy line that was, well, let's face it, this toy line started at the very end of the series life, didn't it? So it's nice to see something like this. Something quite extensive as well to come out, even though they were very cheaply made. And it's nice to see something made available for a series that was, shall we say, rested at the time. There's also the fact as well, K9 is supposed to be pull-back action. Shall we see if he still works? I don't think he will. No. No, he's not. Well, he's trying, bless him. He's not going to work, is he? Now, I do have a mint one of these in my collection, very nice box, and working apart from that centre column, even on mine, doesn't rise and fall. In fact, I haven't seen one that rises and falls since probably the very late 90s. Do you have one that still works? I would be very interested to know. What was your favourite Dapol action figure? Let me know in the comments.